In this lesson, we're going to focus on multiplying by 11. Your 11 facts overall are pretty easy until you get to the 10 times 11, 11 times 11, 11 times 12. That's where people sometimes get confused. Now, if I'm looking at my multiplication problems, 1 times 11 is 11. 2 times 11 is 22. 3 times 11 is 33. 4 times 11 is 44. 5 times 11 is 55. 6 times 11 is 66. 7 times 11 is 77. 8 times 11 is 88. And 9 times 11 is 99. What pattern are you noticing? Think about that for a minute. What do you notice about the factors that we're multiplying together and their products? So when we look at these, you will notice as I'm multiplying, say, okay, I'm going to do 2 10s because 11 is made up of 10 and 1, right? So if I'm splitting up 11, it's 10 and 1. So if I'm going to do 2 10s, I'm going to get 20. And then 2 1s gets me 2. So 2 times 11 is 22. Okay? Say I'm looking at 6. So I'm first going to do 6 times 10. 6 times 10 is going to give me 60. Plus 6 times 1 is going to give me 6, which equals 66. So if I'm looking at this, anything from 1 to 9 as a factor times 11 is going to make your 10s place match, right? Because 9 times 10 is 90. So in the 10s, I'm going to have 9. And then 9 times 1 is 9. So then in my 1s place, I'm going to have a 9. So I broke that one down here. So 9 times 10 gives me the 90. 9 times 1 gives me the 9. If I have 90 and 1 and I put 90 and 1 together, that gives me 99. Okay? So that gets us through our multiplication problems from 1 times 11 to 9 times 11. Now, we're going to do our 11s bigger than 11 times 9. And we're going to use the distributive property to help us with that. How do we use the distributive property? Well, we kind of already did that. We break 11 into 10 and 1. Some people will say, well, Mrs. Gibb, we've already done multiplying by 10, and I know if I'm multiplying by 10, that means I have 11 tens. So 11 tens would give me 110 by adding that 0 to the end. Some people struggle with that still, even though it has the 0, adding a 0 to the end. So that's why we're going to use this in distributive property too. So I break 11 into 10 and 1. So my first problem is going to be 10 times 10. And then 1 times 10. Remember, we got rid of the 11 by breaking it up. So then I have to do 10 times 10 and then 1 times 10. So 10 times 10 gives me that 100. 1 times 10 gives me 10. If I have 100 and I have 10, I then have 110. Okay? For 11 times 11, I'm only going to break up one of the 11s into 10 and 1. Again, I have to multiply 10 times 11 and then 1 times 11. So I'm going to do 10 times 11, which we just figured that out, right, as 110. And then I'm going to do 1 times 11, which we know if I have one set of 11, I just have 11. Okay? So now I'm going to add that up. Again, if you can see this mentally, that's great. If you struggle to see that without lining it up, go ahead and line it up. Do what you need to do to help you, okay? Eventually, the goal is that you know that 11 times 11 is 121 without having to do distributive property or having to line that up in the end. Okay, how do I know that? Well, I only have 100 here. I have 2 10s, and then I have 1 in the ones place. And then the last one we're going to look at is 11 times 12. So I'm going to break up the 11 into 10 and 1. Again, I have to multiply the 10 times 12 and the 1 times 12. So I'm going to do 10 times 12 and 1 times 12. Get rid of that 11. Oh, I forgot to cross that one off. Okay, so, just like we talked about up here with doing 11 times 10, I have 12 10s. What does 12 10s give me? Well, 12 10s, sorry about that. 12 10s gives me 120. Here's my 12 10s, and I have my 0 at the end. Okay, so 120, and then 1 times 12 is 12. Okay, so now I need to add this again. So here I can set it up on the side if I need to, if we're not seeing that. Okay, we're going to add those. So then it's 132, or I just look at it again. Oh, I have 100, so I put the 100 there. In the 10s, I have a total of 3, so I'm going to put that there. And the ones, I have a total of 2, so I'm going to put that there. So my final answer would be 132. So here, remember, when we look at these, anything times 11, you're really just, each of those places is going to be that number, okay, for your factors of 1 through 9. And then the ones that you really need to work on memorizing are your 11 times 10, 11 times 11, and 11 times 12. Until you have those memorized, I think of times 10, times 1, add it together. And that is how you multiply by 11s.